Alright, welcome to part 3. We're heading over to the Madigan line. We've just been to the Fink Desert Race. That was part 2 if you haven't already seen that. And now we've just pulled up at Old Andado Station, or Homestead. There's some caretakers here staying in their caravan, which is nice. So they've got some dongers. It's $5 for a hot shower with the old wood-fired hot water and $2 to go for a wander through the homestead. So we're pretty dusty after the big clouds of dust that were going over us at the Fink race. So we're pretty keen for a shower. We've showered here before. Last time we came through we did use these, that's right. Oh, the facilities here are excellent, nice and clean. And yeah, this is a good old spot. Inside the homestead, the old concrete laundry tub. Yeah, and hand wringer. The old clawfoot tub. Yes. There's the old kitchen area, which is not exactly the most vermin-proof building I've ever seen, but yeah, cool. Now wood stove. What do you reckon, my love? Do you like it?
I like it a lot.
Thought you would.
I like it.
Yeah, no, that's a cool old homestead. You got a bed, one of the bedrooms.
It's too cozy. Oh, here's some photos here,
All
Kenny.
the old trinkets.
Yeah. Why did you say it's creepy in here, Ivan?
Alright, and that's 1974 flood.
And the creepy door.
A bit dark in here, but this must be the master bedroom. The old mats all over the wobbly old concrete floor. And this will be the sitting room with a wood fire. And the shell cans. Excellent. The kids warming up by the fire. And just built out of old logs that they've found and tin. And this is the old radio station or whatever when they used to have the radio out on the old phone. Couple of old Toyotas. At least they won't rust away. They're probably some guys on the East Coast that have a good old time restoring them. Yeah, she's harsh country, man. She would have been a hot old place to live back in the day in the middle of summer. So this is Molly's grave. There's the homestead just over there where we just was. Molly Clark died 89. She lived out here. Wow. Until she was 89. Died in 2012. Yeah, hard old place. A couple of other graves, because I guess they can't pick them up, take them to the funeral home here. Alright, cruising through the Madigan. It's a bit greener than the French line and not as well used. Heaps of wildflowers on the sides of the track everywhere.
Bit rough though.
Bit rough here and there. A few good washouts. Yeah, this track definitely doesn't get used as much as the French line and the Simpson, but no, it's been a beautiful day so far, just cruising along. A lot of it, I'm in 4th gear right now, just putting along. This is where the Simpson in the French line, well, I don't think we got out of 3rd. But we haven't hit the sand dunes yet. I know there's Timmy up in front of us and everything's going beautiful.
Tuned out of it.
Alright, now we're up at the sand dunes of the Madigan. She's much more over, like, the greenage comes right to the edge of the track. It doesn't get hammered as much this one as the French line. So yeah, there's Timmy climbing that dune. I think we might keep this one going. I just heard Sean say that dune's pretty chewed out. But the dunes aren't as steep or as long here as they are in the other part of the Simpson, but they're usually got pretty sharp little tops on them and you drop off pretty quick, which is always pretty cool. Yeah, this one's a bit bouncy. Oh, yeah, you can see someone's been bogged here and just gone bouncy, 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 bouncy. Whoa. Burn up, burn over. Thousands and thousands of those.
Go straight onto that now.
So here's night 1 on the Madigan line. We're, I think Tim said we've done about 370 since we left Mount Dare via Fink, and we got 480 or something to get to Birdsville. So yeah, all the teams sitting around the fire, enjoying life. Everyone's set up. We've spread out a bit because we can, and don't have to listen to each other snoring and carrying on. The old Daddo's there. Loving the rooftop tent. That's definitely one of our better purchases. It's yeah, super easy to pack up and fold away. Yeah, put and set up each day. And yeah, a lovely outback sunset.
Here we are on the Madigan line, and this is one of the dunes.
Alright, so here's what happens when everyone brings their trailers across these places, chews them out climbing the dunes, which is always fun. I heard Sean say on the radio before that this one's rutted out on the other side, so hopefully we get a bouncy one. Oh no, it's pretty smooth. Must have been another one. Yeah, so we're in the sand dune section now in the Madigan. It's
Bumpy.
bumpy, but it's good. It's good bumpy. It's definitely better than the French line. But yeah, you can see that not as many people use this one with the greenery into the edge of the track as much as it is. No, this heaps good. Now the stop button doesn't want to work on our camera. Alright, so here's Timmy and his fancy little oven he's just fitted. Where'd you get this one from?
RTM.
RTM or Road Tech Marine for $199 or something?
Yep.
So he's just filled her up with chicken fingers. So what do? You preheat it?
Preheat it.
Yep.
Throw your stuff in.
Yep.
And set your timer.
Oh yeah?
For whatever you want it to think it's going to take.
Yep.
Yeah. Usually have your temperature cranked all the way up.
Yep. And then away you go.
Yeah, in about an hour you've got some lunch.
Oh, how good's that? All right, we'll have to see how crunchy and nice they are. I'm going to sample once. Put an extra one in there for me.
I've put some extras in there.
You're a good man. All right, we've just pulled over for the quick check. Oh, it's good how this bouncy track stirs them around for you. That's very convenient.
Yes.
Oh, they smell all right.
Yeah, no, still a while yet.
Still a while yet. Still a while yet. Okay, what's that been? About 40 minutes or something? Half an hour, 40 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Sweet. Oh, they smell fantastic. It's a bit of a story here on the Madigan. We're at Camp 9. CT Madigan, 1939 expedition, location of Camp 9. And the Outback Adventures in July 94 put all these little pickets in with these little tags on them. And we've just pulled up for lunch. Everyone's doing their thing. But yeah, so there's camps all the way along here. There's a few that are sacred sites you're not allowed to go to, but most of them you can. But we usually tend to camp somewhere other than these because where everyone else camps, they've usually stripped out all the firewood. So, yes. All right, so out they come. How's it taste, boy?
Amazing.
Amazing. Look at Timmy. Oh, it's a bit hot. He's blowing on it. Look all right. Look, I just got a dirty old ham sandwich, which is actually also pretty awesome. The bread's staying nice and fresh. So there you go. Go and buy one of them if you want one of them. And have some of them. Yesterday they had pizza, the wankers. All right, so Sean, his drone landed not where we were, so we were out searching for the drone, and he hooked a U-turn. And as he was hooking a U-turn, he broke the CV in the front driver's side of that Ranger. And he's climbing all these hills like this in two-wheel drive. He's put his diff lock on. Those Rangers, man, they're in a pretty impressive thing. So he's running along now in two-wheel drive and doing it quite easily. These are funky little tracks. Oh, look at that. He's doing this one easy in two-wheel drive. Oh. These bouncy old tracking places. Oh. Timmy did warn us to watch this one going down. Shauno climbing up a funky old hill in his two-wheel drive. Try and get up a bit closer to him. It's hard to get any momentum because it's so bouncy. Look at this thing going 2-wheel drive with a diff lock on. That's pretty bloody impressive car, that. Alright, this is actually quite an interesting sign. So we're at Camp 11, which is basically a hole in nothing, but you can see where it does hold a bit of water. And about 2 dunes back we're at Camp 10, and it says here that back in the day, I think the man's name was Cecil Madigan, but yeah, I could be wrong. CT Madigan's expedition reached here on the morning of 19 June 1939. They were out of water and the camels were beginning to fail, so they were only halfway across the desert, and they come over a couple more dunes and they found this. It's like a football field with a bit of holding water and a bit of a sign-in thing. And there's my little smoochy poochie, going good, looking beautiful. She's just telling me how she prefers this way more than a holiday at the Gold Coast with motel rooms. She said this is just so much better. Yeah, so chugging along well. Don't know how successful this will be, but looks like it's okay. We've got ourselves a camel wandering through the desert. The boy's just down there. Shauno's still powering along in 2-wheel drive. Where's that camel got to? There he goes. Just walking along, being a camel. Having a good old time. Nice. There's Sean climbing a steep one in 2-wheel drive. Oh yeah, she's getting a few bounces on. That's amazing. Love it! So we've pulled up here at Camp 13 tonight on the Madigan line. We've got a beautiful full moon coming up over the dune. We're just on sunset. We actually pushed on a little bit longer than we normally would today because the whole landscape was just this lumpy spinifex, and obviously there's a reason why they've made camps like they have. Like we've got this big flat area here. It's Camp 13. The last one was Camp 12, which was probably an hour or so ago, but we thought, oh, we'll just go up to the next one. But the track was just relentless. It was really lump and slow, but amazingly this thing of Sean's just did the whole thing in 2-wheel drive, which was really, really impressive. And yeah, so we've just gone and got ourselves a ute load of firewood. Daddo's all set up, being awesome. Yeah, so Camp 13 tonight with the beautiful moonrise and another outback sunset. Alright, so there's our CV that's broken. Shauno just yoinked it out of the car because rather so it didn't bounce around and do more damage. How'd you go, little buddy? Are you a good mechanic?
Yeah.
Mint mechanic.
Someone that doesn't know what they're doing, I can fucking work it out.
You did good. And the girls are over there chatting and doing what girls do. And Isaac lifted that big fat wheel all by himself because he's like a He-Man. And now Timmy's got sand and shit in his jack. I just pulled up and found these fields and fields of little yellow flowers in the desert. Amazing out there for wildlife and even the rain. Well, we've just had like 3 days of track like this. Just a little single lane. And now they've changed the rules to the Madigan where everyone has to go one direction. The track's actually staying really thin and narrow because there's nowhere where people have to pull over to let other people through. So, yeah, so we've just passed about Camp 17 or something. I think right now heading down the Hay River track at the moment, heading towards the QAA line back towards Birdsville. Yeah, how good are these flowers, these desert wildflowers? The heap of yellow ones, the white ones, they look beautiful. As far as the eye can see. Alright, so Timmy just noticed that his car felt a bit funny. We pulled over and checked it, and he's broken a leaf spring on the left hand side, so it's made his whole diff move. I don't know if you can notice in the video there, but his car's crab and it seems to be holding together pretty well. He's doing about 30 kilometres an hour, and we got 163 to get to Birdsville, so it could be an adventure. Yeah, so there's Timmy's snap spring. He's had a good run out of it. These springs have been around Australia, going a big caravan, and done the Simpson a heap of times, and done the Cape, and we were actually having a conversation about them before we left. We're like, nah, they'll be right. Yeah, so what it's gone and done is push this wheel back, and I'll come around. Here's a couple of good looking roosters, they're doing good, and push that wheel forward. Like you can see the gap between the mud flap and the wheel. But yeah, we've been following him and it looks like it's sitting okay, so it looks like we'll get it to Birdsville, so laughing. Alright, I'll just do a bit of a walk around of our little setup. So this is the inside of the rooftop tent, which all set up for me and Mum for the night. She's a little beaut, and you're fully screened, which you want with the flies out here. And just a couple of steps down the ladder. And then here we've got the little collapsible table and chair, which all just goes up in that side box there. So in this box, drop your phone, in this box, keep all our knives and forks, cutlery, plates, spare cooker and all that sort of stuff, and a little jet boil thing he's bought to boil up water. And inside here, we've got our solar controller, light switches. These are the poles for the awning, and the flag and everything goes up in there. 2 fridges, just a couple of Dometic ones. They work great. Keeps all that stuff. Inside the car, phone holders and the GPS and the UHF and all that sort of stuff. A couple of cup holders. Yeah, she's a bit dirty, the old dado. She'll be doing well. And then, then on this side we just use a clothes basket for our clothes because it's easy to get in and out of. Extra jug of water, which we've used a bit of. Good spot for my torch. And then I've also run a couple of ropes across between these handles here, which we use as a clothesline. Dwayne hates it, but it's works really well. Then tent pegs and stuff here, and dustpan and brush, and Leonie's beer fridge. There's the bag for the flag because we need that flag for crossing the desert. And and then on this side, so we keep all our food and big cooker and stuff. And this trip I've been putting my pillows on top of that every day while we've been bouncing around, and it seems to have stopped everything bouncing around where the pillows sit on top there, and I haven't got any dust on my pillows. It stops all the food bouncing around, so it's been working really well. So I'm very happy with this little camper. She's a beaut. Alright, here goes Sean up the easier one. And if he doesn't make this, I'll have to go down the track a bit and take the real easy one. Nah, he's easy. He's cooking. Yeah, he made that one. Good stuff, little buddy. Good stuff, little buddy. Alright, here's us going up Big Red, up the 4th easiest one, or 4th hardest one, whichever one you want to consider it. Because the old dado doesn't have 1 billion horsepowers. And we've done good actually, we're still above empty on the fuel. I miscalculated my fuel. Timmy's got a spare jerry can if we needed it, but it looks like we're just going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets pretty chewed up here.
Whoa.
I didn't even think to take my flag off. Yeah, I just did the same thing.
Yeah.
These boys just do a bit of creative mechanicking on Timmy's spring. We've all made it to Birdsville, and we're using a big some U-bolts and a cover plate to try and hold it all together in the mechanics workshop here, and the man's happily letting us use his stuff, so that's good. And made it back. Hey Spanky.
Yep.
Made it back. There's the buoy, we're all safe, so the ranger's just up there. Yeah, Shauno's just nipping that up now. That should hopefully get us home. Unfortunately, there was no option to buy a spring, but not without waiting 2 or 3 weeks because it was too heavy to put on the plane apparently. And we got in here with about, my fuel light came on 21 kilometres from where out of Birdsville, so I got in here on the skin of my nose, but Timmy had a spare jerry can if we needed it. And there we are, all dirty and dusty and in Bundy. On our way ready to go to Bundy, and look at that beautiful Mahindra over there. Love them.